This message is for Taurus. This will be a reading for February 11th through February 17th. This is for Taurus, February 11th through February 17th. Okay. Let's see what we have, Taurus. Taurus, your overall energy is the Queen of Swords. So you're thinking level-headed here. You're setting boundaries. You're ready to defend yourself on some kind of situation that's going on here. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So it's like you have a duty to comrades that you work with. You have a duty to yourself, duty to family. You're working hard and you're doing the responsible thing. But it's kind of like you're in a standstill. Something is going on here. You're ready to defend yourself on some type of situation. We have the Moon. It's not quite clear to you what's going on. It's not quite completely clear on situation that's presenting itself. It's like you feel that people could be undermining you in the workplace, or your boss is not doing right by you, giving you the raise or promotion, or he's not giving you the projects you've asked, or there's competition between co-worker and you, if not a few co-workers and you. You feel that you always have to defend your stance on certain things. But you're wondering where this is all going to go. It's unknown to you where this is headed, right? Okay. So you're making difficult decisions. You're really trying to avoid having to argue your point across to these people. You're trying to avoid, it could even be with your spouse, arguing something with your spouse on, holding your stance on something. But it's more that in this situation, it's like you're ready to fight for it. So this is important to you. And you're making the decisions. You're having to make a decision between a couple of paths here of which you're going to go. Do you want to go and continue to fight for this, or do you want to pull back and let it go and let these people win, or let that person win? So ultimately, you made the choice here, and it was the choice against the grain. It wasn't the choice that, you made a choice to take this, fight. And these people feel it's against the grain. They don't agree with you, right? So you have regret here. You feel that you made the wrong choice. You're disappointed. And it's, a level of fear, loss. You lost on something. It doesn't necessarily mean a huge loss, okay? It can mean that you lost on just, what you were fighting for. It could be as simple as, you're trying to fight for a project, or you're trying to fight because you want, you want to be correct in a situation with, you're standing up against a coworker and what they think is right and what you think is right. And ultimately, you chose here what the path is going to be that you're going to do. So you continued the fight, right? You continued it. And then it turned into regret. It turned into grief because you found out that they're going to take that person over you, or they're going to demote you, or the relationship is leaving you because they don't agree with you arguing with them about this thing. So that's what it shows here. And, taking heed that this is a warning, right? This is a warning, okay? So, and it's not set in stone. Nothing's set in stone, right? But you can always change the course of anything, right? You know this information now. So when that information, when it presents itself, you kind of know more or less what direction it's going in, right? So this helps you, this helps you to have a little bit of clarity on that, but, nothing is set in stone, and, nothing can be set in stone 100%, because there's always free will. Things can change at a dime. That's the truth. People may change their mind, or you may change your mind, So anything can change with this. Okay. Here, now let's do your love. Love. I used to read tarot for a phone line, and sometimes people, would keep calling about their relationship, the same relationship that they've been in, right? And they would ask me, for my advice. What do you think I should do next with this person? And I would tell them, I think, give them some space, and I would tell them what, based on what I'm picking up, okay? And I'm giving you an instance of one situation I'm thinking about. But I would say, give them some space, and they'll come back around. You don't have to do anything. And they didn't want to listen to that because, they thought, well, I'm just gonna continue doing what I'm doing. And, they're chasing after this person. And see, the reading I got for them was that the person would come around. But see, that was based on if they just kind of leave them alone, right? So they're chasing after this person. They're not telling me this. And then they called me again to do another reading. And the reading changed, see, because it was free will. Because they used their free will to pursue that person, and it didn't work out. They didn't heed the warning. They didn't heed the message. You know, they went against the grain, right? And, you know, even the message can change, right? But for this certain situation, they went against the grain, and, you know, they did something else. And then they came back and said to me, well, you know, how is it that, you know, this, you know, I lost this person, and they don't want to talk to me, and you were wrong. They didn't come back, you know, towards me. They didn't contact me, you know, and this didn't happen. And I said, look, you know, I asked them, did you chase after the person? Well, yeah, I called them, but I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. That's exactly what happened. You know, you were supposed to let them have space to think about it, and you called them, and then you ruined the chance for them to reconnect with you naturally, right? You know, not to say that they weren't going to have that chance again. They probably could have. But the point of the matter is, nothing is set in stone, and everybody has free will to change their course of life, their course of action, situations, you know, how they're going to turn out, things like that. Look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. So that's with the grief. That's with this loss. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. So a path is opening up for you. That's great. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims. It simply allows and gives. Now, I never read this card, and I was telling you about space. And it's what I was picking up, right? So, some people do need space. Some people need space to just kind of regather their thoughts, to miss you, to think about things, to know, man, this person is the right one for me. I definitely want to come back to them. But they have to come to those conclusions themselves. You can't force them to come to the conclusion. They're going to do it. They have to do it. You have to allow a person to be mature enough to come to that conclusion themselves. You can't make that decision for another person, right? And for somebody here, that's what it's basically saying. You know, like you have to give that other person some space to just kind of think about it a bit. They'll come around. They'll come around. Okay. So, what messages does your past love have for you, present love, person you're dating? Oh, wait. Oops. So, I can't express myself. I need to hold back my true feelings for you. I can't make a decision. I want you to enjoy your life. I feel the love. I somehow trust you. Well, okay, there's a couple different messages coming across right now for me. So somebody they're having a hard time showing their emotions for you. But there's somebody that's normally bottled up with emotions. They're not a person that really shows emotions like in that way, okay? So there's somebody that, they can have emotions for a person, but they're not really somebody that expresses it well, okay? They're indecisive about you too. They don't know whether this is working out, you and them, or not working out, okay? They're indecisive. They're not sure what to do. They want you to enjoy life. They want you to enjoy yourself and go out with friends and do things. They feel loved by you, and they trust you. They trust that you're not going to do anything silly and date somebody else. And they feel loved by you, but they do want you to go out and experience and have fun with things because they're indecisive and they're holding back how they really feel about you. They don't know how to express those feelings. It's kind of like I'm getting here like a buddy type of system, like, hey, how's it going? How are you? You want to get a cup of coffee? It's not like, hey, baby, I love you, and I've been thinking about you, miss you. It's not that kind of thing. It's kind of like you don't get those kind of emotions from them. Now, the second images I'm picking up. This is someone that's deceased for some of you. If not for one person here, is somebody that's deceased. This top reading doesn't refer to them. This person that's deceased, they want you to enjoy life. They feel loved by God and the divine. And they're not interfering in your life. They trust how you're living your life, your own judgments, your own call, your own thing. But they want you to enjoy your life. And so they're coming across to tell you that. It's kind of a message for somebody here that's lost somebody. They wanted you to know how they feel. They always are thinking about you. And you'll always be a part of their life, and they're always so grateful that you were a part of their life. Death isn't the end, okay? Death is not ever the end for anybody, okay? Death is like a chapter that starts off anew. We are living here in the flesh. We have to live here in the flesh. We have to continue our life purpose here, because our life purpose, all of the memories, all of the things that we do, they count for the collective of God. It's to provide ever wisdom to the collective. So you have to experience things here. You have to continue, those that leave the earth right away, they leave on their own accord, they didn't, they have to go through a period where they're healing up there. So if a person ends their life, they are in a purgatory in a way, but it's not necessarily purgatory. It's like they are with the spirits that help them to heal their soul for how horrible and sad and depressed and lonely and empty they felt when they did the thing that they did to themselves. Okay, and they are healed, and they do go off into the spiritual realm with God and spirits. They're not held back. Okay, they just have to go through a healing process to be able to understand why they felt that way, and to get the traumas out of their spiritual, out of their spirit. Okay, now when people are gone, they're not really completely gone. They linger around in spirits. Okay, they linger around. They can come and visit you if they think it's necessary to come visit you. They will. Okay, and it's more based on how do I put this? It's not based on an emotion that they are missing or feeling a kind of way. It's based on your emotion. It's like if an example would be like this. If a wife lost her husband of 50 years, and she was so distraught, she was crying and crying and crying, and just wanting God to take her life, and just wants to die and all that stuff. The husband will get a message from the spirits up there, from God. Hey, your wife, your human wife from Earth is devastated and keeps crying and upset and everything over you. They will come in more of a spiritual sense to calm the wife, to say, look, I'm okay, everything's fine. You can go on living. You need to, for our kids, for whatever. And that's what they do, because the wife is distraught. They don't want anybody's soul to be filled with that sadness and emptiness and hollowness. They don't want that. Okay, they don't want that. And so they'll have that person come back and comfort, but in heaven, when a person goes from the earth to heaven, they feel complete bliss and happiness and joy. There is no sadness or pain or anger or hatred. It's like the best for them. It's an euphoria. It's like your best childhood memory times 100 for them. Okay, it's not that they don't miss the people here. It's not that. In heaven, there is no time there. So while they're there, it's kind of like in their mind, in the thoughts, in the spiritual thoughts, they think, well, my wife is going to join me in 10 seconds. It's going to be quick. Because to them, there's no time. So there's not any time to miss or think or dwell, because there's no time that exists there. It's instantaneous. It's kind of like the person passes away, and then the next thing they know, they see the wife with them. There is no sense of time. It's instant. So, and I've been asked that before, like, you know, how that whole thing would work, right? Why doesn't the loved one miss a person enough to come back and show themselves and be there? And it's not that they don't; it's that that there's no time over there. So they don't think that they're gone for so long. They don't think, oh wow, it's been 50 years that I've been dead, and my wife is still alive, and I should be visiting her. They don't think that. They're thinking, oh, I just passed. My wife is going to be here any second. And to them, it is seconds, because time is utterly fast. It's like there's no time, but everything is fast mode. It's like their family just joins them in quickly. But for us, it's very slow here. It's very slow. So that's the difference between that. So I think whoever this person is that misses you, that wants you to know, they want you to live life, and they're loved by God, because that's what you feel, on the other side is a complete joy and love and happiness and wholeness. There's no emptiness. But you cannot, people can't just end it, because the whole purpose of you here is to live it out. You have to live it out. You have to live it out, so you go as a whole. You become a whole when you leave this earth. You become a whole spirit. Everything comes together. And I just kind of wanted to explain that a little bit. I wanted to kind of just share that with whoever this was that is coming through as a dead relative, because I think that you should know that. You should know that they are in a good place, and that they're completely filled with joy and happiness and bliss and calmness and serenity. In their mind, they're thinking you're gonna join them in a blink of a second. And to them, it will be that way. But for us, it's years, right? Okay. But eventually, that'll happen to you. That'll happen to me. It'll happen to all of us, right? We'll go, and it'll be the same for us. Blink of a second, right? Then everybody's coming. But for the people here, it's like, wow, so much time, Anyways, we'll talk more about spiritualism later. I appreciate you watching this, and I will have more videos, of course. Keep doing more videos for you guys. And thank you so much for watching the show. Please subscribe, comment, and like. I like to read all your comments. I do care what you have to say. So thank you so much.